much. Are you guys doing okay out there? Everyone can hear me? All right, so I'm going to kind of keep this a little bit short. I know you guys have been standing for a while. First of all, wanted to thank you all for coming, and it's a pleasure for me to be able to talk to you. I see a lot of students, some parents out there. How many people are feeling very stressed, parent or student, about the next step, about picking a university, SATs, all the questions you need to ask, right? Everyone's hand should be up because it's crazy. And I was just saying when I got here today, I wish there was something like this when I was deciding where to go to school and whether to stay in Canada, whether to go to the US. I'm sure a lot of you are feeling that as well. Not only what university should I pick, which university is the best for me, but is it in Canada or is it in the US? Can I get in? Should I apply for a safety school, a backup? Should I apply to both? So that's why things like this are amazing. Use the counselors, talk to people who have done it. And for me, I had an amazing experience at Dartmouth College. That's where I went to school. I am a hockey player, proud to say part of the Big Green forever, and from Toronto, and I'm a 3-time Canadian Olympic hockey player. So. So just because I went to school in the States does not mean that I gave up my love for this country. But it is a very daunting task. I have a lot of friends who are coaching in the NCAA right now, and I know that if you're an athlete, the recruiting process is crazy. Whether you're trying to get into a D1 school, a D3 school, it's all the same. You're trying to find the best fit for you. And I think for me, I had a little bit of a unique situation. I was training with the Canadian Olympic team and going to school in the States. And just like some of the other speakers have talked about, I completely agree and back finding the right fit for you. And I think the best way to do that is actually to get your feet on campus, whether it's at York University or whether it's at Harvard University. Going to the school and seeing the campus, talking to coaches, talking to students who are there, that is what made my decision. And I grew up wanting to go to Princeton. That was my dream. My older brother played hockey at Princeton, and my dad played hockey at Princeton, and I think the women's hockey coach at Princeton thought that's where I was going to go. So when I was in high school, I applied to Princeton, Harvard, and Dartmouth. I knew that for me, the Ivy League was where I wanted to go to school and where I wanted to play. For a lot of my life growing up, my parents really stressed balance, and that was a big thing for me, whether it was balance in sport. I played a lot of different sports, or whether it was balancing education and sport. And I kind of take that into my life now. And I applied to the 3 schools, and I went to the 3 schools. And before I went, I was going to Princeton. That was where I was going to be until I stepped foot in Hanover, New Hampshire. When I got to Dartmouth, I knew right away that was the best place for me. And I couldn't have made a better decision. And I think I couldn't speak more about the professors on campus. The undergrad, 4,000 students. It's not a lot, and it becomes like a family. And for me, we had 10-week terms. 3 weeks of those 10 weeks I spent in Canada training with the Canadian hockey team. So in order to get a school to recognize that that was important to me as well, and to convince my professors that I would do the work, I may have to do the work on the road, but I would do the work for them, and I wanted to have an experience at the school. I didn't want to just get a degree. I wanted to meet the people, and I wanted to make an impact on my time there. And I think going forward in my life, that's what I've done. Finding out that people matter. Wherever you go, whether you're on a team, in high school, in college, that's the biggest thing. People matter, how you treat people, how people treat you, and you want to find yourself at a place where you fit in with all of the people. And that's why I really, really stress getting on campus, talking to the people, talking to the coaches, and just really visualizing where you can be. Here today, going around, talking to people in the different booths. Stop by the Dartmouth booth if you'd like. But really, just trying to find out what's the best fit for you. And for me, I had an amazing time. One of the things that I would really, really highlight is in high school. How many people here that are in high school know exactly what they want to do? Oh, wow. Then you are ahead of me. Perfect. But most people don't. And I think it's really hard. When I was in grade 11, grade 12, and I knew I was applying to the US, I was very, very happy that I didn't have to apply into a program. I was going to a liberal arts school where my first year I could take classes in every single department. I ended up being a psychology and brain science major. Did I ever think when I was at Havergal in Toronto that that's what I was going to study? No way. I didn't even know that existed. I knew friends that were going to Queen's that were going into phys ed or into business or into engineering. But for me, I just wasn't at a place where I knew what I wanted to go into. So I think that's something to consider. If you want to go to the US for school and you're looking at a liberal arts school, it's amazing. It really is. You get a full year to really explore different courses, and you don't have to declare your major until your sophomore year. So really great for people who don't know what they want to do, and you may stumble upon something like I did that you love to study. And I think just another thing, a lot of people ask me, if people are interested in sport, I'm going to be at a booth later. You feel free to come talk to me about recruiting and all sorts of things like that, because like I said, I have a lot of friends that are coaching, and I'm kind of well versed on the recruiting world right now. But a lot of people ask me about alumni. If you go to school in the States and you come back to Canada, can you get a job? If you go to school in the States and you come back to Canada, do you have friends here? And I think that I would say that is something you don't have to worry about. I couldn't speak more strongly about the alumni network that Dartmouth has in Toronto. And I know a lot of my other friends that went to school in the US as well have alumni nights at different restaurants, and just, it's a very, very amazing thing. And I think that the US does a better job than we do at really keeping their alumni connected. It's hard to say that, but I really believe that. So I feel like if anybody that went to Dartmouth called me and needed help, I would help them in a second. So that's something that I think is really important. A lot of people worry if they go to the States that they won't be able to come back and get a job, and I would say that that's very untrue. So I hope you guys have an amazing time today. Use the resources, go around, talk to everyone, and as I said, all of the speakers, we're going to be at a booth later on. You can come ask us any questions. I do have my medals here if you want to see them, try them on, talk about hockey. It's open, so we'll be here all day, and enjoy yourselves. Thank you.
That was lovely. I wanted to thank everyone, all of our speakers, Marco, Colleen, Gillian, the great insights and information. We do have one little treat for Gillian before we do the switcheroo. I'd like to invite up student Tina Hugh from Havergal. She is the sports writer and editor for their newsletter and a huge Gillian Abs fan.
Hi everyone, I'm Tina and I'm currently a student at Havergal College. So today I'd just like to present a small token of appreciation from all the members of the Havergal community to old girl Miss Gillian Apps. Gillian is a genuinely admirable person. Not only is she an established athlete with 3 Olympic gold medals, she is a person of great character and charisma as well. During her time at Havergal, Gillian was a role model for her peers, and presently nothing has changed. Today, in my school's ivy-covered walls, Gillian is still someone who inspires us to push past our boundaries and strive to be our best. In a quest for a gold medal or academics, Gillian is able to lead herself with dedication, determination, and discipline. Today, Havergal is happy to honor their connection with Gillian. You inspire us all.